heart attack. Fast, fatal, heart impact. Past painful scars, in fact, I blast tasteful bars and pass. I back up my actions, fact, don't ask, grab reactions, jacked, attack with every word, then act with class as they hear me snap. I got nothing to lose, cause I fought and felt the bruise. Now I'm not the one confused, call the shots and they produce. I ain't lost, I'm finally loose. Pick a new submerged juice. I need the views to boost me to a new abuse of being used. Everybody wants a piece now, y'all can rest in peace now. You're dead to me, so peace out. Remember you're discreet now. Get ready for defeat now.
Alrighty. Hello everybody. This is Kirusho here, and now, before we do begin, let us give a brief little review. In the last part we had a few things happen. We had Deku and Koya. Now, Deku is still recovering from his injuries, and Koya, she was still a bit upset about what happened. She was angry at herself for letting All Might not only injure and hurt Izuku, but because All Might, he was still alive. Now, Koya blames herself because she was caught by Todoroki and caused the entire thing with Deku. And Koya, she got a bit of an offer from All For One. Now, All For One, he told her very plainly and very simply, he can let her take down All Might. However, she does need to take out somebody first, since their quirk would be perfect for what she wants to do. Now, Koya, she listened to All For One. She kidnapped Tetsu and stole his quirk, and then she went off on a quest to kill All Might. And the aftermath of said quest, it was not only very brutal, it was also very bloody, and yeah, a lot of people, they couldn't stay around there for very long. And right now, we actually have Koya. Koya, she came back to the base, and people, they saw her. There was the way she was walking. She just didn't seem normal at the moment. She had blood covering her body, and her clothes, they had holes in them. And a lot of people, they were staring. However, when Koya got back to her room, she hopped in the shower. And she was just thinking about it a lot. She killed him. She actually killed the #1 hero. And that, it seems so strange. She got revenge for Izuku, and she fulfilled their mission. And right now, her looking down, watching as the blood does drip from her hands, it feels odd. She's embracing this part of herself again. I mean, the rage, the anger. She only did this when it was necessary. But she just did this because she wanted to. Not because she had to. They could have taken down All Might another time, another way. But right now is the best time for it. I mean, the #1 hero is literally defenseless. That doesn't look very good for heroes either. Only one person walked into that hospital, and they left over 50 people dead. And that is something that Koya, she's thinking about now. She needs to go check on Izuku after she gets out of here. But right now, her gonna sit down and try to think. Right now, she just needs to feel the water, calm herself down, because what she did, the power she now has, it felt liberating. She felt like she couldn't be touched or stopped. She felt invincible. I mean, there's no other way to define that. That was invincibility with back there. Nobody in her way. I mean, she fell 4 stories out of a hospital and all she did was just get up angry. And right now, she feels good. Now, Koya, she just got out of the shower, getting dressed, and going to see Izuku. However, before that does actually happen, she has started to think about it a lot. She thinks about what might be happening next. I mean, their plan. What are they going to do? They've already taken down All Might. They've taken out a lot of Class 1A. And Deku, he is on the road to recovery. Her walking to the room. As they're actually sitting over you, she is sitting there, and Deku, he actually has his bed somewhat leaned upwards a bit more, to where he's in a bit of a more sitting position. And Koida's gonna look directly at that and smile. As she's gonna open her mouth, you just gonna turn and look directly at her. That look on her face does show that she's a bit scared of Koya being here right now. And Koya does quickly go to look at her before realizing it and brushing it off. Has he woken up? Um, he was awake, around lunch. The doctors did some more healing, but he didn't stay conscious for very long. And how was he? The doctors did tests. They don't think there's any permanent damage to his brain, but his body, all the healing and everything that's happened, it's basically been maxed out, so he just needs energy to heal. Oh, um, did he eat anything? He did, and I talked to him for a minute. What did you tell him? I explained what happened. What did he say? He didn't say much, but he was happy that you were okay, that you weren't injured too bad. I see. I watched the news earlier. The hospital, that was a lot. I know. I know, but, I have this now. Her holding up her arm and turning it into metal. And you just stare at that, surprised. Where did you... I got it from somebody. Her turning it off. It's actually very useful with, water bending. I can sort of tell. You okay? Her gonna walk over and sit down in a chair. As she does, gonna hold up her hands, talking about how she's fine. Hmm? You sure? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Just, I feel better. Like a weight's been lifted off my shoulders. I don't really know. Hmm. So can we talk? Sure we can. Um, I just want to say one thing. Earlier, what I said, I'm sorry. It's fine. Hmm? No, it wasn't. I mean, I don't know how I'd react if I heard what I said. You know me. I'm just an airhead. You, you're not an airhead. Despite everything, I do see you as a good person. Better than me. Do you? Yes, that's the whole thing. You don't know the full story. I don't. No. You don't understand why I killed those men. You understand that I'm scarred by them, but you don't know everything. You think that they hurt me in ways I don't want to talk about. But that attack they did on me, that wasn't the first time they harmed my family. Now, Koya will go to start explaining what they did to her sister, and how her family fell apart after that, and even things with her father. She goes a bit more into detail about it. Her father was a man who he never made time for his children, and he was always distant. He always thought that money can solve everything, that he can just spend it and throw it around. He always thought that people, they just respect him for who he is. He thought he was entitled to that. But whenever money couldn't buy him back the life of his daughter, her sister, he lost it. He wanted to have control over everything he saw, and everything in life. The day she stopped loving her father was the day he nearly put her in a wheelchair. And she's surprised to hear a bit more about this. And Koya just finally at least explained a few more things. The men she killed, she did so not only out of revenge for her sister, but as a way to protect more people from those people. And she actually is very confused. Until Koya would continue her explanation. Those men did not recognize her face even after she took the life of one of their friends. These men, they did not care. It doesn't matter. If somebody took the life of someone she knew, she would remember their face. She knew exactly who they were, and they didn't even bat an eye when they saw her. That proves everything. They already tried to attack her once, and they got her sister. They weren't getting her. And who knows how many more people they took. That is how she does view it. She can say that what she did was unjustified, but in her eyes, she only has one regret for what happened. That her friend got in the way. That her friend was going to die in her arms. That is the only thing that she does regret. And right now, if she does want to talk about what happened at the hospital, they can. But she only took out people who were trying to stop her. Civilians, they were left alone. Hospital staff, they were mostly left alone. Security guards, unfortunate. Yeah. Pro heroes and even police, unfortunate. Yes. But she got the target. And right now they're going to go forward and help All for One. After that, what they're going to do is continue their mission. So if you just have anything to add, now would be the time. Koya turning around and telling her that because she does have a few scars, she can show her. But if you want to talk about scars, then let's talk about scars. Now, Yu doesn't say a word. And right now, she does just try and talk about how Koya, she needs to learn how to control herself. I have full control over myself. But I'm also scared of myself, and I'm scared of people around me. Ever since of what happened, no one has been as close to me as he has been. Okay, I get that. But what? I'm supposed to be careful? I'm supposed to make sure I don't snap on people I love? I know that. I'm well aware of that. But the number of people I love, I can count on one hand. The number of people who I can trust to love me, or even look at me like I'm not a monster, is less than 5. Now, I'm going to talk to you, and we are going to speak. But please, don't try to play a saint, you. I know some of the things that you've done. There's blood in your ledger too. Now, you just stare at Koya. And while these two are currently doing that, we actually will cut over to the Izuku, who's been with his mother and father. Deku, yeah. A lot's been happening with him. After he was released from, well, the police's custody, he was put back into protective custody. And right now, after spending some time with his mother and father, they did so and have a family dinner. Them also inviting over Mitsuki, Bakugo, and her husband, who I believe his name was Masuro. Now, they invite these 3 over. And right now, their actions over Bakugo and Deku, they are both sitting down talking. And Deku, he actually has been trying to ask questions. And Bakugo, yeah. He really isn't in the best mood. Since one of his closest friends just died. And, from what he has just heard, his idol, All Might, he died. And yeah, the news would hit him hard. Bakugo, he's not really talkative. He doesn't really say a lot of things. And right now, the only person who's a suspect in any of these murders is currently sitting in the room with him. and he's supposed to just believe they may not be responsible. The finger is being pointed directly at Deku, and he's just supposed to live with that, talk with this guy. They've met on a few occasions. They've talked, and they've tried to be friends. But the way they're friends isn't really that good. Now, Deku, yeah. He also does want to talk to and see Momo and even Todoroki. Because his mother, she does remember those two from whenever Deku was a child. And he also has been asked by pro heroes to even look into things a bit. And it did somewhat surprise Deku. Deku, he is the Avatar. And right now, if he is a suspect, or even involved, he should be involved, correct? I mean, these people took down the White Lotus, and they're going after him. If he has a target on his back, does he not want to fight? And Deku, he actually would hear about these things. With the death of All Might, Endeavor is going to have to step up to be the number one hero. And a lot of people, they don't really want to look towards Endeavor, the symbol of peace. And Endeavor, you might as well be putting fire and oil together. Now, it doesn't really work. They need somebody they can look to. And Deku, as far as they understand, the Avatar has been somebody to guide the world towards peace, and who has been seen as a good-natured person. They will do what is right in the end. And right now, that's sort of funny. Deku, he has talked about it before. However, in Konosashi, well, these two have been reluctant for their son to do this. This version of Deku, he does like this idea. If he is going to be put in the spotlight, why not put on a bit of a performance? People will be looking at him, viewing him suspiciously. So, why not be involved? Hunt himself down. He'll look better to the public's eye. He'll look involved. And if anything does happen, then guess what? There will be an alibi. How can he have done this if he's doing this? How can he be involved if he's already involved trying to catch these people? It just looks good for him. And we do actually currently have Deku. The real Deku. Deku finds himself somewhere strange. He remembers passing out. He remembers being unconscious. And he remembers his body being filled with pain, but, well, now he feels awake. And looking around the world, it's different. And Deku's confused. And he does gotta finally ask a question. What's going on? He does gotta look around. It feels odd. But he doesn't hear them. Vatu? Rava? Hello? They're not here. Where are they? I remember I was alive. Am I dead? You're not dead. Deku looking up and seeing a spirit. Who are you? It is nice to meet you, Avatar. I have heard much of your deeds, and I have seen much of what you have done. You have. Correct. Correct. However, I believe it is finally time that we do talk. It is a pleasure to make your acquaintance. It is. Yes. And I do apologize. A friend of mine, they spoke to you before, but they did not properly introduce themselves. But I will properly introduce myself. I am a spirit. My name has been forgotten in your tongue. But I am a spirit of the ocean, of water. And I do have much to talk to you about. You do? Correct. In fact, I am happy that you are here. We are finally safe to speak from him. Speak from him? Speak from who? It is a long story, Avatar. A very long story. However, there is much to begin with first. There was a man. He wanted to change how things were. He wanted to change the world. However, he didn't really know what he was messing with. He went on a journey, and he found that whenever he came back, he was different. Much is strange about him. He is somebody close to you. You cannot trust him, no matter what he says. He will try to deceive you and lie to you. He will manipulate you, young Avatar, and say much to try and draw you into his ways. What you are doing is noble and it is right. However, your actions, the way you go about them, you must be careful. If you listen to what he says, then chances are the collapse will happen. But it's already happening. Our worlds are bleeding together. Your world is collapsing into mine and vice versa. I don't know how to stop it. Is there a way to stop it? Correct. It is being forced because it has not happened in a long time. It will happen again, hundreds of years from now. But I do not believe that your species will be able to survive for that long. Whenever it does happen, your world, you will climb out of caves, with powers, with bending, or you may climb out with nothing. Those of you who do survive the convergence, those of you who are still left, you will rebuild from the ashes of a world that you've never known. Many of your children will be confused. All of them will be scared. And they will all worry. They will make stories and myth and speak much about what happened. Eventually their worlds will fade to legend. Their words will be forgotten. And it may happen again if it is not remembered. Hang on. What are you talking about? Convergence. One of your previous lives, they fought, and they were supposed to set in motion something. It is the reason why airbenders and air nomads, you do exist. The child of the air. I don't understand. Good and evil are unbalanced, young Avatar. Along with that, those unbalanced things, they are also unbalanced with one other thing. Nature. Nature, Gaia. She is bleeding, and she is dying. She will continue to as well. You are trying to help her, and you have helped. You especially with your current actions. I don't understand. Somebody has made a deal with the earth. However, that deal has been mistreated, altered, and manipulated. I cannot say much more. I fear that my interference in this matter, it may harm everything. I must go. If I do not, you may stick around here for far too long. I don't get it. But where are we? This isn't the spirit world, is it? It is the spirit world, young Avatar. This is the spirit world as it was. You are perceiving things from my memory. This is how the spirit world is supposed to be. But I don't get it. It's peaceful. It's quiet and it's beautiful. The sky, everything. I just don't... Deku jumping up. And the moment he does, he actually is going to try and take a deep breath. Him confused as everybody in the hospital room, they're surprised. Deku's heartbeat started to suddenly accelerate. And then it seemed like he got frantic. But then he just, all of a sudden, the monitor just suddenly exploded, and then boom, he's awake. Now, Deku, he's trying to look around. However, right now he's actually being told to lay back down. And Deku, he almost doesn't realize it for a second. This sudden shot of adrenaline, it almost makes him forget this pain he's feeling in his back. And right now, everybody, they're just trying to calm him down. Deku looks like he just saw a ghost. Pun intended. And ironically, they don't even know the half of it. And Deku, he does go to lay back down. However, he is happy to see everybody else here. And then he's actually happy to see Koya. Him going to bring his hand up and ask her if she's okay. Her gonna reach her hand down and grab onto Deku's, smiling and telling him that she is. Along with that, she did actually help finish the mission. Finish the mission? I think I might be having a gap there, but what happened? All Might's dead. Deku turned to you. What? I killed him. Koya. Wow. It's complicated. He died hours ago. Oh. Damn. I guess I really did give you guys a scare then. Okay. If I've only been out for a few hours, my injuries haven't been that bad. It's almost been a week. What? Izuku, you've been asleep for almost a week. You've been healed as much as possible. And right now, you're bedridden in the hospital, or at least in our facilities. Right. Right. About that. I had the weirdest dream. I don't know. I feel strange. Deku going to look up, his eyes glowing. As there actually is whenever Deku does watch it. The water in the room, it shoots upwards and forms into a ball, before freezing and falling into a small statue. And Deku, he does gotta bring his hands up to his head. What the hell? What was that? I don't know. Ja, that fucking hurt. Are you okay? I'm fine. I just went into the avatar state. That's never happened. Like that. Now, you're just gonna stand up, looking down at what Deku just created. Guys? Now, everybody will gonna look in turn, seeing the statue. And Deku's eyes do widen. The ice. It froze into the spirit. No way. Now, everybody's gonna look back towards Deku. And right now, Deku, he's trying to sort these thoughts out in his head. It wasn't a dream, was it? No, it was real. But what he heard then? The spirit world. Gaia? Doesn't that mean something? That word. He's heard it before, but it means something. It means something. What does that word mean? It's gotta mean something, right? Now, everybody they do see Deku's confusion. However, right now, Deku, he's trying to process everything in his head. And with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed. And have an amazing day. I'll catch you guys in the next part.